Hello, everybody. How are we doing on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon?
It has been a crazy ass Tuesday here.
It has been a crazy
Yes,
Tuesday.
lots of stuff going on. And it's weird is like it's one of those weeks where the new release week is not that big. There's not that many new titles. But I think this is the hardest I've worked on Tuesday in a while. Of course, I'm actually not going anywhere because I'll be working on full boxes after this. Because the job I'm supposed to do during the day, I haven't even touched yet. So,
oh man, ain't that the life of owning a comic?
This is good. This is good. It's been a great day. We've had a lot of good stuff coming in, guys. But the thing is, there are so many big things on the horizon. We should start off first with what's coming out this Saturday. This Saturday is Humberto Ramos. Guys, we've said this for months now. Hear me. Read my lips. Listen to me. This is the biggest artist we've had here yet. And also, too, just going to shows, talking with other agents now. When we mentioned that we're having Humberto Ramos join us, it's giving us a little more clout.
This is real.
Exactly. So this is basically the gateway drug of getting new creators in Knoxville. And that is so important, especially now with cons being the way they are. We feel there might be like a bubble burst with conventions maybe in the near future, just where they're oversaturated and stuff like that. That's my thought. We think it's really important for as a comic book store to be bringing creators here, especially all the distribution problems we've been having. So, so if you're not busy this Saturday, please come by this weekend. Get something signed from Humberto Ramos. We have plenty of books, guys.
Yes.
Plenty of books all out for you to buy to get signed. Also, too, we'll be having sales, buy two get one free on our back issues, graphic novels, and we're opening up the warehouse for the first time using our browsable kiosk. Now, that is not saying we'll have a bunch of boxes out for you to dig through for half off and all that again. No, this is saying you can browse on our kiosk, our warehouse, and that's here to stay. But this is our first weekend doing it, so we're really excited.
Absolutely. And guys, we've got the I don't have the other book, but we've got the
art books from Ramos. We've got plenty of books to get signed.
And if you guys are out there looking around, if you can get one in time, I didn't realize this, but I bought. This is a Steel Annual #1. Apparently, this is Humberto Ramos' first cover ever.
And that's not super hard to find. It's out there. You can find it anywhere. So if you're willing to go by another store and give them some business, be sure to look for some awesome books to get Ramos to sign. There's plenty of them out there. But yeah, seriously, guys, this is going to be a huge weekend full of sales, deals. We're putting out a new key collection. Didn't even mention that yet.
Oh, guys, I got a nice video coming back up on that.
Besides Ramos coming in, we have a couple other things going on, Brad. What else we got coming up?
Again, we have got
Mad
Comic Expo, guys. When is that?
As April. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's the first weekend of April, right?
Is it something like that? Sounds like something I was saying. Give me 1 second. Yes, April 5th. I always knew it. It's on April 5th. Great show at Magnolia Campus. And then, of course, we're having a TMNT movie party at Central Cinema afterwards as part of the event. I mean, you have to pay to get there, but it's part of the event that we really love doing every year. So
we love Central Cinema. This will be our fourth year doing this, right?
It will be, yes.
Every single year is always a blast.
And we've met some of our greatest friends at this show. We've met a lot of people. This is a show that we've grown a lot at. And we're really, really proud to be part of that. Buzzard Brothers is going to be there.
Buzzard Brothers are going to be there.
Hey, guys, if you want to look at some really cool shit, go check out Buzzard Brothers.
Buzzard Brothers have got it going on, guys.
Okay. It's great.
And then next up, guys, do not forget.
Yes.
Open submissions for the Eisner Awards.
Vote for your shop,
vote
guys.
For us, guys. We want to go back to San Diego.
True.
We want to show them Knoxville is where it's at when it comes to a fantastic comic community.
Exactly. That's actually how we're able to meet Humberto Ramos, Todd Nuck, and how we've been able to get these guests for our shop. Also, we didn't have a graphic because again, we've had so much going on lately with the distribution stuff. Next week we actually have Power Rangers here.
Oh, is that going to be next week?
Next weekend, yes. Cool. So we'll have a graphic for that next week. We'll have more information going out for you guys about that. If you're a subscriber, you've already gotten the email. Check your emails. We have information on all that. But yes, we have Power Rangers here next week. They're awesome.
They are. Well, since we don't have a ton of books,
we really don't.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about how Lexington Con went?
So Lexington Comic Con, Jasmine and I were asked to go up there as witnesses, kind of last minute. And truth be told, I actually didn't want to go. Like the day of, I told Jasmine, I'm not going. I got too much going on here at the shop. Not that these guys don't have it when we're not here. It's just with Ramos coming up and so many other things, I didn't feel comfortable leaving. And that's a me thing. It's not a shop thing. That's a me thing. But we went up there. I'm really glad we did. As soon as we got up there, we found out that Jim Shooter decided he wanted to hang out with us all weekend, so he moved his booth in with ours. We were right next to Sergeant Slaughter, and Monica from Captured. If you come by this week, you'll meet her. She insisted I do the Cobra Clutch challenge with Sergeant Slaughter. So I got a coin for surviving the Cobra Clutch, but he put me in the Cobra Clutch. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, this could get me. Like, if he,
Sure.
all I could think of is that Hulk Hogan interview where he choked the guy out.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh shit, you know. And like, guys,
I mean, I wouldn't say he did that on accident. He definitely, he's definitely trying to show that guy that, this ain't all fake.
Exactly.
But then that guy ended up suing him.
He did indeed. Yes, that was a whole thing.
But
Sergeant Slaughter was a super awesome dude. We're seeing him some comics as well. Turns out his agent actually knows Jim Shearer too. Like, we're seeing him the rest of the weekend. They know each other, so that's kind of cool. Like, there's a con family there. But Jim Shooter, he was hanging out with us. Jasmine and I got to sit down and talk with him about his early days writing Legion of Superhero stories, his plans for Pharaoh Lad, which are insane. He was going to have like the first black superhero before Black Panther, but he said no. And he had the stuff that Jim Shearer did in establishing like the specialty market. A lot of the stuff that we do in comic books nowadays came from Jim Shooter. And so I was telling Jasmine, I was like, he's kind of like our generation's, progenitor kind of thing. Like, not saying he's like Stan Lee or anything, but he is responsible for so much of our current market. And it was really cool, to think about that. But anyways, so then I got to hang out with John Romita Jr. at his booth for a bit, and that was a lot of fun.
You get to spend a lot of time
with him. Spent a lot of time with him, actually, yes. We had a great customer experience involving this guy's dad. Now, we're not going to go too much into that part of this story because that is more of a private, but it was a really cool moment that we got to celebrate. Of course, it's Kentucky, so we were drinking bourbon at their booth and talking, and we got to know them really well. And then, guys, we actually got to go out to dinner with Jim Shooter and John Romita and several other people. The way the table's set up, I ended up sitting right next to John Romita Jr. and Jim Shooter, and I'm like inside trying not to like freak out, but I'm like, oh, it's cool, whatever, this is normal, and I'm like, freaking out and everything. But it was all fun and games until Jim Shooter asked him, so how'd you learn to draw? Did your dad teach you? And guys, they've already had, there's a lot there. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of history. And John Romita Jr. is like, hey, careful. And Jim's like, no, but he's like, no, seriously, tell me, did he teach you to draw? And I'm not going to go super into detail, but then John Romita Jr. starts to lay out his history of learning how to draw from John Romita Sr., using movies specifically. And then I hear Jim Shooter, they start talking about, and they're talking with all of us. Like, we were all part of the conversation. It wasn't just them. They were like, talking to all of us and everything about these friends of theirs they used to work with. But their friends they used to work with are names like Majima, like Jack Kirby, it was all these huge legendary names. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, of course. After they leave, I'm like, oh my God. But had a great time getting to know John Romita Jr. a lot more and hang out with Jim Shooter again. It's always fun hanging out with him. So this trip I didn't want to go on at all was just what I needed. It reminded me of why I fucking love this industry. And if you guys have been in our shop lately, I'll be honest, you've not seen the best side of me. Everyone here can attest to that. It's been a lot with Diamond Distribution, crazy big guests, work-life balance that doesn't exist. It's been a lot. And I know that I definitely have not been my best self, but this was like exactly what I needed. So I am so happy and back and so ready. Now, I'm not saying we'll be Rays of Sunshine when you see me tomorrow. I can't guarantee that, but because again, it's gonna be a long night. But definitely, it was a trip that was definitely needed, and I am so glad I have an awesome crew that is able to, oh yeah, sure, go license, whatever. We got this. We got this over here, or that doesn't like, oh, I could share this with, and like, everyone, like, you got your stories at San Diego.
Oh, sure.
Just we all try to like make sure everyone gets that experience. So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, what does all this mean? This trip that I took. We got some great contacts. Probably our best, most beneficial contact trip yet. I'm not going to name drop here because we're still securing some things, but we're trying to work on some awesome end of the year guests that I think will you guys will be very excited about. So stay tuned.
Can't wait. Well, all right, guys. Before we get into the new releases this week, please be sure to go ahead and drop a like down below.
Please.
Let's go ahead. We'll start off with some reprints and facsimiles like usual. Blow through these pretty quick. We've got Batman Adventures number 12.
And if this looks like a kid's book, it's because it kind of was.
Oh,
it looks like a nothing kid's book, but what is this, Brad?
First appearance of Harley Quinn.
That's right. It is the first appearance of Harley Quinn. This book came out in the 90s. Still an expensive book. Still a beautiful, wonderful book. Anytime it comes in our shop.
It is a great book.
Super awesome.
That one does not hang around long.
Does not. So if you want a chance to read it, We have this in regular and foil version.
Got the foils.
Yes. So
I think all these we've gotten foils.
We do indeed. All these facsimiles that we're talking about today, we do have them in foil, including Mondo versions with a Swamp Thing, which honestly, not the biggest fan of, but hey, you may like them.
The Mondo one's a little weird, but whatever.
Yes.
We've got Swamp Thing 37, the first appearance of John Constantine,
and that's
everybody's favorite.
And that's what I love about comics. You know, you have a Swamp Thing series, and then a character that appears in a comic becomes everyone's favorite. I love it. You know, it's great.
Highly recommend picking up both of those for Goodreads. And then we've got X-Men 133, which is the first solo Wolverine
I don't
story.
have this in foil.
We do not have this one in foil.
Yes.
Okay. And then next up, you guys might have seen from the thumbnail, Batman 30 or Detective Comics 31. Excuse me.
It's easy to make that mistake.
It is easy for me to make that
All
mistake.
Right,
one of the most iconic Batman covers ever. This is the first appearance of the Batplane and Batarangs.
Oh, okay.
Now,
but the big thing is the cover.
Oh,
it's
yes,
100%. It is the most iconic
100%
Batman cover ever.
Yes, it is. And then it was homaged by Neil Adams in
which itself is then now a super expensive book because it's an homage. Because when it's a copy, okay, it's not fair to make it. When it's an homage, that expensive because it's an homage cover.
I'm sure they'll blow us up over here to say, "Hey, what's happening, Ian?"
Yes, she was originally in the animated series, correct?
Yes.
That's what's so cool. She came from the animated series into, the main series.
But let's get back to Detective 31.
Yes,
I read this.
How is it?
It is a wild fucking story. It's got werewolves.
Okay.
Just so Batman has a fiance.
Okay.
It's very sporadic, and it's only I think there's 5 total stories in the entire issue. The first story is the only Batman story in it. It's a wild read.
Wow.
Highly suggest it's funky as shit.
Who's the writer on it? Is it Bob Kane and Bill Finger, or is it?
I would imagine it is. So it wouldn't be Bill Finger,
right?
I don't know, man. You're asking me questions I cannot answer at this moment.
My apologies.
And I'm very sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Might be Jay Robinson, maybe.
Oh, that's right. Because it would have been a little bit later, yeah.
And then we have got TMNT and Naruto #1, the second printing.
So yeah, this actually has taken a long time to come out, which actually I'd say too long to come out. But when this book first came out, it was a smash hit. We sold out it instantly, even though we did order decently heavily on it. This book was celebrated by everybody. So if you didn't get the chance to read it, here is your chance to read this book at cover price.
Absolutely. Oh, and also with werewolves, you get a big gorilla in the
wonderful
story too. Very, very odd stuff, but enjoyable for sure. And then this one you got to read. Tell me about the Assorted Crisis event.
This book is 2 things. One, it is the best book coming out this week.
Ooh.
Secondly, it is the most difficult to read book coming out this week. So essentially what it is it's a commentary on our love of apocalypse stories.
Okay.
And showing a good example of what happens if an actual apocalypse is happening, how people respond to it. Time has kind of come undone and people will disappear, be zoning in and out of time zones. And occasionally you may pass through an area where it's not your original timeline. For instance, she's going to work and she passes into a timeline where she does not exist. So she doesn't get paid for work that day. She goes back home, so stuff like that.
Sure.
The main character, they film apocalypse movies outside of her apartment because it's so shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's dealing with the fact that she's living in a post-apocalyptic or a world, a scary event that even people are like, oh, it's no big deal. If they're really from the future, it's not our future. It's actually this is what it would be like.
Okay.
This is what it would be like if we were going through this.
Gotcha.
It's by the writer of Ultimates, so it's a good writer. So Denton Camp is the writer on it. It is a hard read. Like Power Fantasy, you may need to read it twice.
Okay.
That's okay. Now, this is actually faster to read than Power Fantasy, because Power Fantasy had a fucking lot of words.
It did.
Great book.
It was very text heavy.
So this is a book I encourage you to try. I can't say you like it or not.
Sure.
Because it is one of those trippy, thinky sci-fi movies. Kind of like Predestination. It's have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think so.
It's a great movie, but not everyone would like it.
Sure.
It's about time travel. So, but yeah, so that is out. Yes.
Great way to end that.
Yeah, but no, it's a good book. I do encourage it. I liked it. It's gonna be one of those ones I'm going to sit down and read all the way through again.
Might not be for everybody, but if you're feeling up to it, it's an Image number 1.
I mean,
Can't
guys,
go wrong
it's 50-50 you're gonna like it or not when it's an Image number 1. So always good.
Now tell me about this one, because I looked into it and I see we got Matt Fraction on it.
Yes.
We got Michael Allred, whose art I absolutely adore, and we got Patton Oswalt.
Well, I'm glad
so
I'm glad you're talking about this.
The Minor Threat.
It is, and if you don't know what that is, I guess I'm kind of mad or not. I don't know. So Minor Threats is created by Patton Oswalt and another writer whose name escapes me right now. I do apologize, guys. It's been a long day, but they made a whole universe out of it, which is surprising. Basically, Minor Threats is about villain henchmen or minor villains, condiment kings level villains who, when basically, and this is, these are what's the word, pastiche characters, whatever, when it's like an example character like Rorschach is to. So this universe's Batman character's Robin is murdered, and then he goes on a rampage, and the Justice League is trying to contain it. So while this chaos is going on, the Minor Threats are like, fuck it, let's show these guys that we're top dog too, and they get involved, and it all goes crazy from there. There's been several spin-offs of it, teen level characters, Barfly, which again is like one of those examples of that mutant freak character you don't care about, like Toad kind of thing. And this is the newest series from that. So if you haven't read, if you're interested in this and you read this and you have a bunch of questions, you should check out Minor Threats, which we do try to keep in stock because it's a damn good book. But it's really cool that they continue to build this universe, and I'm very happy about that.
And unlike Rob Liefeld, Patton Oswalt enjoys comic books.
Exactly, yes, because he knows they're not unreliable. Like Rob Liefeld says, which he's still doing a signing at Golden Apple Comics. So explain that to me, Rob.
Go buy his Coke cans on Whatnot for $150.
Tell me that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that didn't happen.
He signs Coke cans and sells them on there. I've seen it happen. I don't know if he does it all the time, but he did do it once.
If you're wondering what that is, yes, Rob Liefeld said that comic shops are not reliable enough for him to be able to give them this book first. If you want to sell something on a directly to consumer thing first, fine. Bad Idea does it all the time. Just don't be a dick about it. And don't say we're unreliable when we are literally trying harder than ever because of distribution problems, which again, were not our fault. So, all right, sorry, that's over. Ignore that. Moving on. Kendra, number 1. It's a fun, sexy sci-fi with an anime tent series from Antarctic Press. You will not be seeing very many more series from Antarctic Press for a while. They've scaled back their publishing thing a lot, but it is a fun new indie series if you're wanting to read something different. Antarctic Press always has that kind of anime sexy tent. It is what it is. They're fun.
And then you wanted to talk about Love and Rockets 16?
I did. So this is actually so Love and Rockets is kind of that counterculture, mag. It's like heavy metal light. If heavy metal is alcohol, this is Mary Jane. That's kind of what it is, basically. It's a pseudo anthology series featuring some counterculture narratives. The original series is actually highly sought after in collections.
For sure.
The number 1 issue goes like $300. So this is only volume 2 that's ever existed, coming out from Fantagraphics. Again, another small press publisher. This book is not for everybody. It's one of those books that I see when it was on a light week for FOC. I'm like, let's take a chance.
Let's talk about it. Absolutely.
The last issue came out last year. It comes out quarterly. So if you're looking for something different, want to give a indie press a try to help out Fantagraphics, I'm not going to say
please
don't buy it.
Love Fantagraphics. And then we've got Green Lantern Corps 2.
Yes, we actually want to show you this. So Green Lantern Corps issue number 2 is coming out from Jeremy Adams, featuring the new Green Lantern series, the big event that's going on there. They have a lenticular cover featuring Guy Gardner's spray painting Kilowog poster. It's Guy Gardner being a jackass on the cover. What's not to love? So if you want that lenticular cover, please let us know.
And then we've got Hive 2.
Yeah, so we threw this in here because we want to make sure we remind you guys, there's issue number 2. There's also not just this, but Mine is a Lonesome Grave is out. So these both came out the same week. They were both really great indie series from Image and Boom. This one was a weird, wonky, cult-based comic about, crazy cult out of Florida, you operating storage units. So it's fun. So yeah, if you like number 1 but haven't added issue number 2 to your pull box, please make sure you do that. We want to give you guys that reminder.
Absolutely. And then last one is Nick Fury versus Fin Fang
Tell me about this book.
So again, this was just a number 1 with a very light number 1 week. I figured I'll give this one a read. I really like the Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon one. This takes place right before World War II, but right before America goes into World War II.
Huh. Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's
And
cool.
right before Fin Fang Foom's first appearance. So
wow, that is really cool that they put that kind of continuity in there.
exactly.
I just figured it was like modern day and them just running around doing
No,
shit.
not at
it's
all.
Like,
not at all.
It's a prequel to his first appearance.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So you get Nick Fury. They've got this cloud that's
and
out
this
there.
is the Caucasian Nick Fury, the original Nick Fury.
Yes, the original Nick Fury.
Yes.
So they're getting calls from this cloud that's taking down all these planes, and there's no bullet holes or anything in it. They can't understand why these planes are getting shot down. Nick goes over there, bing, bang, boom, runs into this this dragon, takes him into his lair, and then the very end, where are they at? Pearl Harbor.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
So yeah, I honestly I enjoyed this issue. I thought this one was a lot of fun. I did not
Is
read.
it gonna be like the Michael Bay movie?
We'll see. I didn't read the last one, the Captain America one, but
I read it. It was okay. Again, this whole let's pair the super serious character with the nutty character is awesome. But this sounds like
I enjoyed
really
it.
cool. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. We're gonna get 2 on those guy gunners, Greg Williams and Ian.
and see that's why we bring it up here. We figured you guys would like it here.
Give me 1 second, and then guys, we will get into those.
Sorry, I was checking my phone. It said someone's in my house. My wife.
Green Alrighty, guys. I think we are all caught up. Let's get to some variants of the week.
Absolutely, guys. Okay. So,
yeah.
First up, we have a 1 in 25 Robertson variant for Absolute Superman. It is $14.99.
Oh, also Absolute Superman 5 fucking rules.
Fantastic. And something I'm very excited about. 1 in 50 Sean Murphy, guys. That's the guy who does White Knight, doing Absolute Superman, of him smashing a tank. Love me some Sean Murphy covers. Anytime there's a Sean Murphy cover, I always go heavy on it because I think he's just amazing. But yeah, so 1 in 50 is $30.
CL's getting that GL.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, we have 1 in 25 Danny variant for $14.99. And all new Venom this week, guys, which does narrow down the suspect list a little bit more without fully revealing who it is.
Okay. They still haven't revealed, huh?
No, it's like issue 4. I think they've said they're going to reveal it finally. There's actually Clayton Crane suspect covers.
Oh,
and a
shit.
cover. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but this week I was like, I thought it was revealing. I was like, oh, no, he's using a different symbiote. You'll see what it is when you read it. Anyways, there's a beautiful Gabriel Delgado cover. It's a 1 in 100. So this Venom one is $90 if you're interested.
Oh, I brought that for you if you wanted it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I had to get some caffeine. I was crashing hard. I appreciate it though. Look, he's so nice. Isn't he so nice? All right.
And guys, all of you that are sticking around are going to get a fun surprise at the end.
You are indeed. The big surprise at the end. You know, we could just show them.
No, just keep going.
Okay, gotcha.
Keep going.
I'm at the end. You know, the
Oh, no, we're
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We have Amazing Spider-Man 69, 1 in 25. This one is $20.
Nice black.
This was the most pulled ratio variant of the week.
Really?
5 people pulled it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. Featuring Black Cat at Spider-Man's grave. And of course, with it being Scotty Young, we have the 1 in 100 Scotty Death. It is $75 if you want it. And it is perfect. All right, we have a 1 in 25 La Roca variant for $14.99 for Aquaman 2. And then the 1 in 25 Mundo variant for a Sorted Crisis event for $14.99. All right, guys, we have a 1 in 25 Antonio variant for Deadpool, where he's threatening Miles Morales for some reason, but, you know, whatever works. And then we have a 1 in 25 Guidry variant for Green Lantern, and then a 1 in 50 Grant, no relation, variant for $39.99. Almost done. Y'all got a few more goodies. We have a 125 West Coast Avengers one, which is actually a book I need to go back and read all the way through for $14.99, and the Helverine number 4 variant for $14.99.
Nice.
Which might be my favorite ratio variant of the week. Is up next. This 125 Noto variant for Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom. That's one joke I always did like on Big Bang Theory when they talk about the different names or whatever. Peter Parker, Jonah Jameson. The worst, Fin Bang Boom.
I never watched that show.
Eh,
Sounds hilarious though. Greg.
whatever. 1 in 10 Corona variant for TMNT Usagi. Not God bless it, Usagi. Not it's Naruto. TMNT Naruto. 1 in 10 for $7.99.
Hell yeah.
Oh, all right. Wow, that is very nice.
That's cool.
Man, okay.
City.
We have a 1 in 25 Legacy of Vader variant for $14.99. It's a Lopez, and then we have the Grassetti variant. It's 1 in 50 for $30. It is beautiful. All right. We have a 1 in 10 Hughes, not Adam Hughes, different Hughes. 1 in 10 variant for Void Rivals, and a 1 in 50 Chuang variant for $29.99. The 1 in 10 being $7.99. Featuring Hot Rod. Just enough Transformers to keep you interested, right? Actually, the book itself is very good.
I still need to read Transformers.
We have a 1 in 10 Kerschel variant, as well as a 1 in 25 Bruthkeen variant, and the 1 in 50 Ono variant for Transformers. And those are $30 and $14.99 and $7.99. So, a lot of good variants out this week, guys.
Absolutely, guys. Let us know if there is anything you are interested in.
Now, what's the cool shit we get to show them now that's coming out that we're really excited about?
Alrighty, guys. Well, first off, don't forget, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Grant and I will be going live on Whatnot to sell you all books of the week if you can't make it to the shop.
Exactly.
So,
We'll
as you all know, we have a Mark Spears Monsters variant, which for a lot of you, you were very lucky to get those things dirt cheap.
Yes. What does a 9/8 unsigned copy go for now?
$600.
$600.
Last sell.
Isn't that crazy, guys? $600 of our variant.
So, do we want to show them the other thing or just show them these?
I think we should show them both. Let's show them this that we're doing, and then we'll say, or just real quick, be like, oh, hey, guess what? I won't say what it is really. We'll just show it to them.
Sure. All right. So we've decided we're going to put up a few very special books on eBay. We're starting off at $1. They will be going live this Sunday from 9 p.m. to 9 p.m.
An eBay auction for a week. It's open for 1 week.
Auction for 1 week, as eBay auctions usually go. So we have got a Mark Spears Monsters #1 signed and sketched by Mark Spears. This is the 1 in 75 metal variant. Very
shiny,
expensive book.
Yes. Very hard to find book.
Yes.
You have to remember, guys, these ratio covers for this book, they barely existed when this book first came out, the first print.
One of the listings I looked at said 1 of 80. I don't know if that's correct.
I do think that actually is correct. They were low numbered. The sketch covers, only 500 were made.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 in 25s was only like 50. So like they're not 50, only like 100.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's very, very low print, guys. So this is super hard to find. But show them the real monster.
And this is both of these are starting at $1.
$1
this Sunday. We have got 1 of 2 9/9s of our store exclusive.
It's remarked too.
Remarked by Mark Spears. 1 of 2. I looked it up. We have both of them.
It's true. The other one's
they're taking one.
Yes.
I made them take one. I said, you guys have got to hold on to one of these. This is special. You guys need to have one of these.
He's right.
So again, 1 of 2, one that's going up for sale. The only one that's going up for sale.
Correct.
Is going to be starting at $1 this coming Sunday.
What's really cool too about this too is this is actually done kind of in a pseudo partnership with Mark Spears, because he actually stopped by our shop randomly one day and did this. He was going through town, stopped by to say hey, and I was like, hey, I got a couple extra copies. Would you like to sign them? And he went ahead and sketched on them. We sent them in and got 9/9 back. And so I was like, hey, man, you did this. This was so nice of you. So this is done in partnership with him. He'll receive a commission for this, being a creator. And he'll, of course, public promote and everything too. But he and I are talking about that. As you can see, Mark Spears and I, we are also talking. So we're going to show you something real quick and really not tell you too much about what it is. You'll be hearing more about that next week. But let's just show them real quick what it is.
Okay.
All right. What is this? But that's not our store exclusive variant. The colors are different. What is this? It hasn't come out yet. That's all I can say. It hasn't come out yet. But if it's not come out yet, no, that's not March. That's not Monsters issue 4 or 5. It's something else. What it may be, that's up to you to find out. We'll be telling you next week. And of course, if we were doing something like this, why that wouldn't make sense unless, you know, we were having a guest or something like that. But of course, I'm not telling you that. I'm saying that for next week. We're all talking about Ramos this week. So if you want to hear more information, come visit us in Ramos this weekend and maybe find out what this means and what's in store. It's fun being coy.
See you all next week.
Yes. See you guys. Thank you. For granted.